on YouTube. So we're going live on YouTube right now. Miss Nick, if you don't mind, once we go live on YouTube, and I'm actually setting it up now, and it should be available to everyone in the next 20 seconds or so, and we're live. So I'm looking at our feed right now. We're looking real good, real lovely. So we're live over on YouTube. Do me a favor, copy and paste that link over on the Sports Talk NOLA Facebook page and put it everywhere else you want to put it. Love Sports Hip Hop. I know that's the foundation of everything that we do. So any and everywhere you want to put that link, if you don't mind, please drop that link. As I tell the folks that are looking for us that we are indeed on live. That's a good thing when people are looking for you, right? You got to be findable. But
it depends. It depends on what they're looking for you for. Because if they're trying to get some money out of you, then no, don't look for me. But
that is true. You're either trying to duck, with that. You know what I'm saying?
Looking for money, don't look for me. Okay.
But I got some interesting thoughts after tonight's game. And
actually,
it's provocative. I got Phil. He's saying, man, I was about to go to sleep on y'all. I'm glad he didn't go to sleep. Glad he's not.
You on us, Phil. You know we round out your Sunday. Don't play no games.
You know what I'm saying? He was texting me during the game. He had a lot. I can't wait to kind of get his feedback in on tonight's show as well. Phil, if you don't mind, everybody that's listening to the show, I'm going to challenge y'all tonight. I need y'all to post the show. I need you guys to share it via text. Do whatever you got to do to get the show out and make sure that people know that we are indeed on. Now, I'm hoping we didn't just get killed on my internet side. Ms. Nick, can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine.
All right, good. I've got this weird thing going on at times with my internet, and I'm kind of scared to try to flip over right now. You know what I'm saying? I can flip over. Let me tell you what I did. Now, I know y'all looking for the same show. If you listen to us, y'all know we keep it 100 with y'all. We're going to tell y'all what's happening behind the scenes sometimes as we put this empire together. I won't name the company, but they offer a Wi-Fi connection that's a standard connection throughout the city if and when you're out of the area of your modem. So we have been having some problems, and we thought, you know what? During the storm, let's sign up for it, and let's get straight. Just in case the modem gets knocked out, we still got access to the Wi-Fi network. We can still do some things with it. Well, yeah, that was a good idea. But for whatever reason, it knocks me off my home network sometimes and puts me on the more public network, which I don't like. So hopefully everybody can hear us pretty good and has the show. I see Chuck, he's already talking. I told y'all last week when y'all talking about the Falcons, New Orleans Saints fans, y'all need to stop talking about the Falcons right now. Them people curse. And right now, after 2009, it ain't looking too good for us either. So, if we try to win the Super Bowl, I ain't got time. And I'm saying it the way I want to say it. I don't have time to worry about what the Falcons are doing. They're blowing leads, and that's what they do. Like, we kind of understand all of that. But the Saints are 1-2 right now. They only have one game. They're one game up on the Falcons. So it ain't really time to kind of roast them. What you think, Ms. Neat?
I mean, I'm always talking about the Falcons.
Oh, so you with all of that.
Hey, listen. We be forever. I don't pay much attention to them. I watched them today because we weren't playing, so I'm just kind of going around all of the games, and it's just baffling to me that they keep blowing leads like this. It almost feels intentional. Like, are y'all trying to just get the number one pick next year, or what's happening? Like, why are we doing this?
I'm to the point where I ain't even right now. They 0-16, we 1-15. That's the way it's looking right now. Now I know we're not going to go 1-15, but I mean, come on, and here's the bigger point. And let's get to the game and talk about what we saw tonight. Yeah, very entertaining game. Green Bay Packers defeat the New Orleans Saints. Just in case you ain't know, 37-30 tonight in the New Orleans Superdome. Packers improved their record to 3-0. Saints 1-2. And, that's how it went. Alvin Kamara, he killed it tonight. Had a hell of a game. I know one thing. We had the warm-up show that we did, and both of us talked about two players that we thought could maybe go get that bag of beignets, outside of Alvin Kamara. I think both of us thought that he would be strong. I agree with you. Say that, yeah, he had to play very well for the Saints to win. I was watching the game, and I was like, Harris almost about to break one. I think Ms. Neek might be on to something. If he do, she going to tear it up when we do the show. Well, he fumbled. And he got the ball back. And, I picked Taysom Hill, and he fumbled, but he didn't get the ball back. And that might have been the most pivotal moment of the game. It happened in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, I don't want to pick no more guys before the game. We kind of jinxed that.
We ain't pre-picking no more because I thought the same thing. I was like, wait a minute, hold on. Because I didn't see Harris do much. I saw him fumble, and I was like, oh, maybe you ain't getting no beignets today. And then, I just knew Taysom was going to come, but we tied at 27. You know what I'm saying? We just got the big stop, and then you throw Taysom Hill in instead of just dumping off, and then Taysom fumbles because he misreads the route and tries to go up the middle like a dumbass. And I'm like, oh, my God.
See, very, very good. Very good. You absolutely said exactly what happened. He misread the play. He should have handed the ball off. It's an option play there, but he needed to hand the ball off. The defender was literally facing him chest to chest. And in that position, you give the ball there. He did not do it. And the guy tackled him with a good angle. He fumbled. Look, that's probably Taysom's most significant turnover since we remember getting him. And so while it's a bad turnover and we don't want it to happen, I ain't go crazy because I'm like, he can't be perfect. Like he's pretty much been perfect since he's been playing for the Saints. However, him being on the field at that point in time, we're talking about two of the greatest quarterbacks of all time going head-to-head. Miss Neek, and I got a lot to say as it relates to Drew Brees. I'm going to give you an opportunity to kind of maybe either calm me down or like the match even more. Drew Brees, what after tonight is 3 games, what were you kind of thinking about tonight's performance from Drew Brees?
I think it's a combination of Drew not trusting himself and Drew not trusting his targets. He hesitated way too much. I saw too many double pumps tonight, and it felt like he just was not confident in his targets getting anything on the long ball. So he started to look for short drop-offs and couldn't find any. And that puts me in a space where I'm like, okay, are you questioning your arm, or do you not think that they can catch these balls? Because it's one or the other. But there's a lot of hesitation, and I'm starting to feel like he just doesn't trust because he kept going back to the people that he knew were tried and true and would knock it out the block. Like, and I don't know if that lack of preseason has him doubting because they haven't worked on rhythm and he doesn't know if they're going to get what they need to get. But at the same time, there was one play where Smith was running his route and he had to come back for the ball.
Right.
So it's like, are you afraid of your arm? Because you're not. Normally, you would put the ball right where he knew his receiver to be, and instead, you're making him come back for this ball, and now we don't have a first.
Look, if you've been listening to me do this for a while now, y'all know I love number 9. I love Drew Brees. That's the homie, I was talking to someone this week, and they gave a great analogy as to where he sees Drew Brees right now and a decision that may be looming for the Saints in the near future about what they're going to do with the quarterback position.
Ain't it the way he got banged up tonight?
Yeah, I'm not nowhere near. I like Taysom as a football player. I don't like Taysom as a starting quarterback in the NFL. So I'm not on that train. Won't be on that train. Would love to be wrong. If he could prove me wrong and be a legitimate starter in the NFL, great. That's great for the Saints. However, when you look at Drew Brees' stats, let me give you a stat line, because there'll be people that will, they love Drew Brees, and look, I love him too. 29 for 36, 288 yards, 3 touchdowns, no INTs. He didn't turn the ball over. Okay, that's solid. He threw the ball a lot of times, had a lot of completions, but a lot of those completions were short yardage completions. You saw Alvin Kamara tonight have a phenomenal game, have a great game. Him and Latavius Murray, to be honest, Latavius Murray carried the ball 12 times, 58 yards. He averaged 4.8 yards a carry. The magic number for a running back is 4 yards a carry. So he's almost at 5. So he was working it. Then you got Alvin Kamara, who only touched it in the running game 6 times for 58 yards. He had an average of 9.7 yards a carry, okay? And just so that you want to know, what type of game he had. 13 receptions for $139, 10.7 yards, a reception for 2 touchdowns. So he did his thing. All right. When I look at the Saints and I'm looking at Drew Brees, and I've sat in that Superdome and I've watched the formula, and the formula has been very simple: double cover, and at times even triple cover the phenomenal you can guard Mike. Okay, play physical, keep the Saints receivers contained, and dare Drew Brees to throw that football 50 plus yards. And if he can't do it or won't do it, at that time, you're facing some of the better teams in the league. They're more disciplined. The defenses are stronger. They beat the Saints. And that therein has been the problem. It's the reason why in the NFC title game that we lost but really won against the Rams, that game was closer than what it needed to be. It's the reason why Minnesota walked into New Orleans last year and did the exact same thing. The formula is out there. The Saints do not have players at the receiver level. And Emmanuel Sanders is a guy that changes that narrative a bit. Alvin Kamara was hurt last year, and I want you to chime in here. I apologize. But Traquan Smith, up until this year, was not a guy that did well at getting open within that first 20 to 30-yard spectrum. And in the West Coast offense, you need guys that can figure out when they're in zone, and beat man coverage, and he wasn't able to do it. Drew Brees does not trust it, and you put it eloquently. He does not trust his targets. With can't guard Mike out of there. When Michael Thomas not playing, he ain't really feeling it. And then number 2, he does realize that he lacks some RPMs in that arm, and we're watching it unfold right before us. And so now the question becomes, and I'm going to give you the question, what do you do here? You've got a guy that when you look at the stat line, you can't go sit him down. 29-36, 288, 3 touchdowns. That's solid. He's almost a 300-yard game, 3 touchdowns, 29-36. That sounds like a good game. But if you watch the game, you realize how limited the Saints offense was. And I'll ask you this question. If you're going to keep Drew Brees as your quarterback, when you look at the rushing yards from Murray and Kamara, why didn't they have 20 to 25 times of touching the football? That play you talked about, why didn't you just have Drew Brees hand the ball off to Latavius Murray and continue to drive? Why are you getting cute? And I know it's hard. You say getting cute, but why are we doing the Taysom Hill thing in the folk? And I know, I'm saying it now and it works. It works, but damn.
I mean, I think we're in this space where it's a tad bit of desperation at this point, where we feel like they've had our number clearly for, since we won the Super Bowl, because we haven't gone back. So. Sean Payton is this prideful, risky play caller, and I think he's just overthinking it, and he's running plays that he just really shouldn't be running. What do you do with Drew Brees? I mean, realistically, I personally, one thing that I did see a glimmer of is Drew and Sanders starting to connect.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like if we start to grow on that, he will become a little more comfortable. Once Sanders caught a couple of catches, you could see Drew look his way a little bit more and start to feed him more, which I think is what's going to end up happening, especially until we get Thomas back. And once Thomas comes back and we have both of them at a double threat, we're golden, I think, at that point. So, I mean, what do? You can't, to your point, you can't sit him down. So he's just going to have to start relying more on our run game until he gets comfortable, or he's just going to have to trust his men. It's one or the other. He's going to have to stop being so apprehensive. And it's hard to do because we don't have a preseason. There's no games to really give up, really. Right. And especially in a game like tonight, because this could determine whether we're first seed or we're in a wild card game. You know what I'm saying? So right. I understand the apprehension, but he has to start trusting his men, because this is the type of season we're playing right now, where it's just balls to the wall and we get it done.
Yeah, it's hard. We're in one of these situations where the Saints, Green Bay is a formidable opponent. They made it to the NFC title game last year. You have a home field advantage, sort of. You have a few fans in there. And you're watching Aaron Rodgers draw the Saints off sides and work his cadence, eloquently. He's a master. That's what he does. And so you're thinking, would that work on a Sunday night where myself and 80,000 others would be in there, and then they turned up. It's a Sunday night game. Everybody didn't ate good, and New Orleans in there. You look at what's going on now, and you don't have it. You don't have that home field advantage, and so it's like you're just playing outside, and it's almost like a practice preseason-esque. The whole thing is unique. We talked about COVID-19 and the effects of what it's had on all of our lives, and this is not making an excuse for the Saints, but it's legitimate. You look at the Saints having 2 of their first 3 games at home, and you're thinking with the crowd, worst case scenario, we'd be 2-1, right? We'd be 2-1
at least.
But not so. And championship teams have to adapt. They have to be, at the forefront of evolution. And it's sad that we're here, but we are indeed here. And I think what Sean Payton will need to do is tailor back some of the game plan and rely heavily on that rushing attack between Kamara and Latavius Murray. And then defensively, we talked about this last week, and we're talking about it again this week. Significant penalties at moments that we don't need them to happen. And it's frustrating because it looks like our defensive backs, they lack the IQ necessary to adjust. I hear a lot of Saints fans saying the NFL is picking on us. And look, are there questionable calls that are happening? Yeah, I could see moments where I'm like, but
questionable calls across the league.
Right. So I ain't feeling that.
We can't really make excuses for back-to-back bonehead plays in
right.
Like that's like it's just we have to be better. They have to be smarter. Davis was stupid for going offsides. Like, what are you doing? What? Like, you could tell that he was trying to draw you offside.
Right.
He did it twice.
Right.
That's the up and run he does. He does that every time he's trying to pull you off sides, bro. So, like, what are you doing? And he did it once before, and you almost fell for it then. So,
right.
like, dude, chill out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to, like, I get it. Yes, they pick on us. They don't like us. A lot of people don't like us. Oh, well, whatever. But at the same time, knowing that they don't like us, we cannot make mistakes like that. We just absolutely cannot. I want to bring in some of these comments because we got a lot of comments, and I don't want to get too far away from them. So Chuck says Green Bay has the officials helping them. The official called a penalty against Jenkins for a horse collar tap. Excuse me. And I do remember that. It was kind of iffy for me. I was like, but I'm not a good assessor of penalties because there are times when I'm like, nah, that's that ball. And then, it goes upstairs and then New York comes back and they like, nah, it was cool. And I'm like, dang, I thought I was right. So I don't really do too much arguing unless it's just blatant. But, I thought that horse collar call was pretty iffy too.
It was terrible. That wasn't a horse collar at all. And it allowed the Packers to continue to drive. And I believe they scored points on that drive. That they probably maybe not score if that is called correctly. I'm reading some stuff here from Phil, and I get it. Look, I'm a Saints fan too. And I'll say this. It's not about looking dominant every week. That's not what this NFL season will be about. There's so many changing targets right now. It's about who's going to be able to adjust, because here's some things that we haven't taken into consideration. And I want to get to the bootleg. Remind me, Nika, if I miss it, come back to that bootleg. We got to get to that bootleg because that bootleg is I was like, what?
They look just alike. They look. You don't know if they're going to the run or the pass, but we got to. At least we got to have some kind of defense for it because, 50% of the time you're gonna be right. Just do something.
Since we're here, I was listening to Sean Payton post-game conference, and a reporter asked him, he said straight out, he said, is it difficult to defend? Is it that difficult? And he said, no, it shouldn't be. And I can tell you this on the backside, the bootleg, obviously, let me give you an example for the viewers or listeners, to kind of give you an understanding of what we mean by the bootleg. If you didn't see the game, if you're trying to understand how that works, basically what we have the quarterback and the offensive line and the running back moving one direction. And then you have a tight end or a backside player, a receiver that will go the opposite direction. So quarterback, running back moving right, offensive line moving right. And then you have this other player, tight end receiver, moving left. He's usually moving into the flat or into an open part of the field. And if the defense is not disciplined, you're usually in man coverage and you're aggressive against the run. The Saints are a very good run defense. To be a very good run defense, you have to really sell out against the run sometimes to stop the run. So the Packers had done their homework. They realized, okay, the Saints, they're going to eat the run. They come in to come stop the run. We're going to have play action and bootleg opportunities at the opportune time. And so they did it. And tonight it seemed to work every single time that they did it. And it was aggravating because the last one that worked, the touchdown, they put them up by 10. I'm like, look, the linebacker, if he stays disciplined to weak side, then we could stop that play. But he's chasing down inside. And I'm like, what are we doing that for? I don't, like, you've been watching the game, like we're watching the game. Like, are you not going to stay disciplined here? And he doesn't stay disciplined. And so it's aggravating. And these are things that in preseason you get an opportunity to work on. I don't want to sound like after 3 consecutive years of going 13-3, Sean Payton and everybody in the house need to be fired. I'm not going to do that. Y'all not going to get me to do that tonight. They deserve an opportunity to fix the ship, to get things in order. But it's not a good place to be. We're 1-2, and it's not a good place to be.
It's not. I mean, again, it's still early, and things could drastically shift. I have a question for you though.
Okay.
So there was a PI call against Marcus Williams. It was blatant, but the ball didn't appear catchable to me. It didn't look like Irvin was going to make a play on that ball at all. What did you feel that was a good call? No,
I didn't. But here's what's happening now. I'm going to tell you what's happening at every level of sport. My son is a high school player here locally, and one of the greatest coaches in the history of this country in high school football told him, he said, your blocking effort is phenomenal. But what's going to happen is they're going to watch you on film and they're going to go to the referees. And they're going to tell the referees that 25 holes, right? So we got to clean it up. Told him that this week in film. Mm-hmm. And so if he's doing that at the level of high school, what's happening at the college and pro level, they're sending in tapes. They're sending in tapes. They're talking to referees before the game. They're talking to referees during the week. And they're making NFL headquarters, officiating headquarters aware that the Saints defensive backs are aggressive in the passing game and they're putting hands on people downfield. And so the book is out right now. Test the Saints, throw the ball deep, put their guys on that island, and let's see what happens. And if they don't catch the ball, 9 times out of 10, they're going to have their hands on a guy. And the Saints now have everybody scared. Nobody wants to miss a call. And it was funny. The play that you speak of with Lattimore looked a lot like, without the illegal hit to the helmet, it looked a lot like the play that the officials blew against the Saints 2 seasons ago. I'm like, damn, it looks a lot like it. Yeah, he was there early, but the ball was uncatchable. And I'm like, damn, what was that flag 2 years ago in the NFC title game? Because if you throw that same flag in that spot, the Saints, they end up playing New England in the Super Bowl. So, hey, I'm not one that wants to make excuses. I see everything that everybody else sees. I see the inopportune penalties. The Saints are the most penalized team in the league. When you're undisciplined and you're not taking care of your responsibilities, you make it easier for teams or the referees to take the games from you. And so we're just going to have to find a way. I don't want to sit up here and complain. They've won 13. They've won 13 games the last 3 seasons. So we can't get up here and they're not like Detroit. They're not like the Bengals. They're not like the Browns. Right. It's not good, but the Saints got to figure it out.
We have to. Phil dropped a comment that says, so the Packers 3-0, where? Not being a homer, I didn't leave this game saying, damn, the Packers legit. I kind of did. At least I left saying Aaron Rodgers is. The boy will make lemonade out of a glass of milk. I don't know how he pulls off some of the things he pulls off. He started to find Sternberger, gave him his first career reception, and then just was like, oh, so you can catch? Okay, catch this one, catch this one, catch this one, catch. And I'm like, okay. So I mean, but we said it on the pre-show. He's the GOAT, and he will make a way. So I was impressed with the play that I saw from the Packers today.
Look, you gotta win the game. You on the road. You in New Orleans. You go to 3-0. New Orleans is a team that is. I just said it a few moments ago. They've been 13 through the last 3 seasons. You now have the tiebreaker against that team if they are staring at you for the bye later on this year. And so, pivotal win. It's not about dominance all the time. It's about finding a way to win. And they found a way to win. I want to give a shout out to a new listener, someone who commented in our comments. I know Ms. Nick usually handles the comments and does a phenomenal job as such. Shout out to her Yang for tuning in to the 5th quarter with your boy Jailines and Miss Neek. We appreciate you guys. Make sure you are subscribing. Hit subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. Make sure that we're getting out to as many Saints fans as possible. If you're a fan of the opposite team, we keep it 100. We ain't haters over here. You know what I'm saying? If your team put in that work and they get the victory, we're gonna respect it and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? So definitely follow us, Sports Talk NOLA. If you're looking for this program as a podcast, again, search the 5th quarter, Jailings Miss Sneak, Spreaker. What else? Aren't we on one of them big time live, big time networks? And I'm sad. I'm sorry. I'm coming at y'all like this, but we on so many networks now. I tell Miss Sneak all the time. I forget. We everywhere. Just anywhere you listen to podcasts, Apple, Amazon.
We're on Apple Podcasts. We are on Amazon. We're on Google. We are on, if I'm not mistaken, Spotify. If we're not there,
yes, we are. We're there.
So I mean, really, anywhere you take in your media, you should be able to find us.
Right, we're there. So subscribe, love us, show us that love.
Absolutely. I want to bring in a few more comments because we got a couple more coming in. Phil says his other main target, Cook, left the game, so those are 2 weapons you don't have. No name players on the opposing team have monster games once again.
I mean, it's just good coaching. It's good coaching, Phil. Look, we can be emotional after the game, and I think that's warranted. Especially when we saw LSU get their ass whooped the way they got their ass whooped on yesterday. I get it, okay?
LSU didn't have no bearing on how I felt today.
I know you don't really turn up for them like I turn up for them, but when you live in the Gulf Coast and you love football down here, we love our SEC football, we love our NFL football, and both teams leave us a lot to be determined. We're kind of hurting right now, but it's a long NFL season. The Saints need, and I told y'all, I thought the Saints would lose this game. I said it. All right. Now here's the good news. I said if you're 2-2 after 4 games, considering the circumstances dealing with this pandemic, dealing with the issues with no fans in some stadiums, fans and others, that the Saints will be okay. They'll be in a good spot. Here's the interesting note, though. We beat the Tampa Bay Bucks head-to-head. But right now, the Saints trail the Tampa Bay Bucks in the division. And so that makes that game in a few weeks mega important.
I think the biggest thing for us is staying healthy. We lost Pete tonight. He went down. And, the hard part is not knowing just how many people we're going to lose, if we're going to lose. We got Thomas out. We're just losing key players. So the team that we were when we played the Bucks is not the team that we are today.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see how, as people start to get healthy and hopefully people stay healthy, what we look like going forward.
Ms. Nick, you said it. Health is a major issue when you're trying to make a run to win a title. And we talked about the injuries a few weeks ago with a lot of significant players, going down. And when you look across the league, right now, those teams who are relatively healthy are doing well. But you look at the 49ers, a team who had every reason to maybe struggle. They're on the road. They're in New York. They're down a lot of significant players. They find out New York is a really bad team. They're a bad team. But the 49ers find a way to win that game, 36-9. I want to bring everybody around the league real quick, and kind of bring into vision here where the Saints really are and how they stand. We talk about dominant wins and maybe where the Packers are. The Browns, 2-1 right now. They beat the Washington football team. It's still weird saying that, but I'm glad I'm saying that. That's a good thing that I'm saying that, that they changed, and they're going to change that name of that team. Bengals, Joe Burrow, Heisman Trophy winner, LSU national title team. We show him a lot of love down here. Well, he didn't lose this week, but he didn't win. 23-23, Eagles and Bengals finish in a tie. That's stupid. You spend all the time watching the damn game, and they end up in a tie. But, yeah, they're tied. Ms. Neek had to tell me about this game. I was driving, putting in work, okay? I'm still paying attention to the league. But I'm watching the Bills work the Rams, and I'm like, good. That's an NFC opponent. I don't like the Rams because of what happened with my Saints, and the Bills gonna mop them. Well, the Rams came back and took the lead. The game became a problem for the Bills. The Bills pull it out. They end up 3-0, 35-32. Hell of a game. Probably maybe the best game of the first games that come on Sunday. But Ms. Nick, you had to put me on game of the game. Did you watch the game in totality?
I watched most of it. It was a really good game. It was they played well. The Rams played well. Once they decided to get it together. I don't know if they was like sleep or something. Maybe they ate a little bit too much on the plane. But when they finally woke up, they actually balled. So the Rams are a really interesting team to watch, and I've been watching them a little closely because I have a vested interest with the coaching staff over there. But they've been a really good a team to watch. They are looking very threatening, especially that defense. Their defense is looking really, really, really threatening. So, yeah, they lost today, but did they really? They look pretty good.
Yeah, when you lose an AFC game, it's not the end of the world. Right. Jared Goff threw for 321 yards, 2 TDs. He did have 1 interception. Cooper Kupp, 9 receptions, 107 yards, 1 TD. Josh Allen for the Bills, 311, 4 TDs, 1 INT. He's a guy that's in that mix for MVP along with a few other guys I'll get to in a moment. We talked about this at the top of the show. The Falcons, they improve to 0-3. I know people don't say improve, but, look, that's a shot. 0-3 Falcons. Bears, 3-0. Chicago Bears are 3-0. Nick Foles came in and took Trubisky's place, came in, right, put in work. He got it to happen. And 3 touchdowns when he came in, and they win that game, man. Chicago come into Atlanta and take that game away from the Falcons. I told y'all I ain't going to really mess with the Falcons, though, because I got a feeling that because we keep doing that, bad energy keeps coming to us, too. And I ain't really feeling that. We had to share names with them for a while. Mercedes had the Superdome and that stadium. We were the only place that kind of had that shared energy. So it's something about this that I ain't really feeling. And I'm trying to just get away from Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? I ain't really want to mess with that.
We ain't got to talk about Atlanta.
Yeah, I leave them alone. Let them keep losing by themselves. Steelers and the Texans. The Texans are 0-3. I didn't think that they would be 0-3. See, it could be worse. You could be 0-3, Saints fans. Texans are 0-3. Steelers 3-0. Steelers are 3-0. Deshaun Watson 0-3 with the Texans. That's shocking.
Yeah,
that's shocking.
Better this year.
All right, I didn't think that they would start off slow. Again, preseason, things change pretty quick. Patriots, that's my AFC squad. I still have problems embracing it fully right now because there's a particular guy playing quarterback that me and him, we don't really rock just from a fan level. I don't know the brother personally. I wish him nothing but success and, his love all the way around, except for when we're talking sports. But he did lead my Patriots to 36 points, and they beat the Raiders. The Raiders took their first L of the season. The Patriots are 2-1. Raiders are 2-1. Cam, did you watch it in that game?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Now, he only threw 462 yards. He 1 touchdown, 1 INT, but the name of the game is getting the dub, and they did get the dub, right?
They got the dub.
Vikings, 0-3. Titans, 3-0. Vikings lose a tough one, 31-30. That's you look at a play here, play there, that's kind of how that goes. Their Colts 36, Jets 7. Colts improved to 2-1. Jets 0-3. The Panthers win their first game of the year. Teddy Bridgewater, 235 yards, 1 TD. They win 21-16 over the LA Chargers. And we talked about the Buccaneers. The Bucs, they didn't play a very good team today in the Denver Broncos. They're 0-3. But the Bucs improve to 2-1, 28-10. Tom Brady throws for 297 yards, 3 touchdowns. And that one, I know you pay a lot of attention, Ms. Neek, to the NFC West. So you know in the NFC West, the Cardinals, the Seahawks, the 49ers, and the Rams, that's probably the best division in football. Well, the Cardinals lose their first game of the year, 26-23 to the Detroit Lions. The Saints on the road next week at a normal time. It won't be a primetime game, so that means me and Miss Neek get to do the 5th quarter in the afternoon with y'all. We ain't going to be on the air till 12 o'clock my time. We're going to come on at a normal time so I can go to bed next Sunday and get some sleep.
Yeah, he be tired, y'all. He be so
tired. Cowboys, they lose again.
They lost again.
Yeah, they lose again.
Now, what I will say is Dak had a really good game until his last pass of the game.
Right.
He had a really good game. Now, why he decided it was smart to throw that pass after breaking a sack?
He's out there tripping.
Into a crowd of Seahawks. I have no idea, but it
was out there tripping.
It was like the whole bench was in the spot. It was like, that's where I'm gonna throw it. No, that wasn't smart. So, but
he out there tripping.
That's it.
Yeah, and okay, so watch this. Dolphins, Jaguars. That game was played on Thursday. We don't really care. Somebody had to win, somebody had to lose. The Dolphins won 31-13. And, of course, our Saints, they fall tonight 37-30 to the Green Bay Packers. The Packers improved to, what is it now? They're 3-0 at this point now. And on tomorrow night, and I know, look, I know y'all like
young goats coming.
Yeah, tomorrow night we got a game tomorrow night, man. That's gonna be fun. I look forward to tomorrow night's Monday Night Football game. Chiefs at Ravens. Baltimore Chiefs. Both of them are undefeated. Could be a preview of the AFC title game. It should be fun to watch. Let me ask you this, Ms. Neek. I know we're a Saints show. We kind of took everybody around the NFL. Kind of let who you think gonna win tomorrow night?
Oh shit.
You gotta watch your language.
Right, I'm gonna give it to Mahomes. I think
okay.
Gonna pull it out. The boy does. I've never seen anybody do the things that Patrick Mahomes does. He is so fun to watch. Like it's almost like schoolhouse football where you just do anything and make it work and get into the end zone. So I got Mahomes tomorrow. Who you rocking with?
You know what? Just for fun and to make it kind of interesting, I like the Chiefs. I do. I like Mahomes a lot. I picked them in the Super Bowl last year. I was glad that they won. And I wouldn't be mad if they won. I like him. But I'm gonna have a little fun with you. I'm gonna go with the Ravens. I'm gonna go with the Ravens tomorrow night. They're at home for whatever that means right now. And I think Lamar Jackson, while he's not Patrick Mahomes, he's definitely electrifying. I know you agree with that. He likes camera action every time he put that rock in his hand. And that run game gonna be vicious tomorrow night. And so it should be fun. 2 young, as you say, future GOATs, similar to what we've seen tonight with 2 more established and, gray GOATs. Those guys are on the bottom end of their career. But it should be fun tomorrow night. So I'm going to take the Ravens. You're taking the Chiefs. We ain't got nothing on it like that. But, we'll see what it is. We got a comment, Ms. Neek. We got a comment. Let's see what's good with it.
Got a lot of comments. I've been letting you go around the NFL. You talk about things nobody wants to talk about.
Oh, okay.
I'm joking. So Chuck says, again, the Saints are playing against the NFL officials because it was their team that changed the game. The Packers did nothing special tonight. The Saints outplayed themselves. There were some unnecessary plays by the Saints. To chime in on that, Michael Thomas was making some headlines during the game because he was going off on the refs during the game. We got a TD pass to Mercedes Lewis that happened, and he said that was clearly a push off in his tweets.
Okay.
He went ahead to go ahead and tweet again. The officials watering down the game week in and week out. Chuck agrees with that, and he says the officials are getting soft. So I have an issue with these game changing calls that keep happening that thankfully we can challenge like the TD that was nowhere near a TD that we ended up getting, overturned. But like, do you feel there's a vendetta against the Saints, or are the referees just trash?
I ain't prepared to go there. I see a comment, shout out to the homie Jamario. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, that like button. Show us love. Come back, as we'll be here after every single Saints game, recapping the Saints. Whether we win or lose, we're going to be in the building. His opinion, Drew Brees is done. Sean Payton play calling is done. Dennis Allen defense scheme was like the levies in New Orleans, 100. I ain't mad at that. Look, I don't know if Sean Payton's play calling is done. It seems not as crisp as it has been. I can say that. I think Dennis Allen and the Saints defense leaves a lot to be determined because their schemes seem to allow playmakers to make plays, and it's not really built in with more of a cerebral attack. Like players are basically just making plays out there when they're there in front of them. So a lot of one-on-one, a lot of blitz packages, double teaming here and there, trying to fool quarterbacks into throwing the ball and getting the ball out of their hand quick and maybe giving the Saints defense an opportune time to cause an interception if they can jump on a hot route. You kind of saw that tonight in one of the plays where Chris Collinsworth, who called the game with Al Michaels on NBC, he gave a good insight to a particular blitz that Dennis Allen called where you had the Saints overload one side of the ball and up the A-gap, basically, which the A-gap, if you don't know where that is, that's in between the center on both the left and right next to the guards, okay? And so you got two A-gaps, right? And so the Saints blitzed right up the middle, and then Malcolm Jenkins had to come in and cover the guy that would release on the inside for the quick slant, the quick hot read. He did that, right? Did a really good job of doing it. Aaron Rodgers had to move to the second read, threw the ball down into the flat. Saints made a great tackle, was able to force the punt. So, look, I can't go there with y'all tonight. I'm not going to do that. I'm frustrated too, but the Saints, with their record, deserve the opportunity to get the respect that they require to get this thing fixed. And here's the name of the game. The Saints are a seasoned team. Would you like to have all of the games roll through the dome? Absolutely. If you don't have them roll through the dome and the Saints are somehow allowed to make it into the playoffs with Drew Brees and that playoff team with a lot of experience, maybe that's the way they need to go. Maybe they need to go away where nobody thinks they're going to do it, and they have to go on the road and do it that way.
Perhaps. I'm looking through my notes here, and I wrote this down. I haven't gotten any validity on it yet, but they're saying that they're eyeing for Michael Thomas to return next week.
Oh, geez.
Now, do you think that's too soon?
Yeah, I mean, it depends. They haven't been as transparent with his particular injury. And so I don't know what really, I know it's a high ankle injury is what they're saying, right? So I don't know. I did see something that made me laugh that Phil just wrote. And I don't know if you've seen that yet about something he wrote. I was trying to get his ass to coach with me when he was here. And now he's saying, he done made his mind up. I'm going to go try to be somebody's cornerback coach in one of these high schools in Texas. New life goal. Thank you, Saints secondary, for this decision. The Saints secondary plays really bad. They're bad. So while I understand all of the energy for the refs, come on now, y'all. Y'all watching the game like I'm watching the game. You sitting there like, I can't believe that. I can't say it on this network, but for real? I know y'all sitting there with that for real. Like, seriously?
The thing is like we're bad enough on our own. We don't need y'all to add more to it. Like we don't just give us a minute. We'll mess up in a second. Like we don't need you to say we messed up and we really didn't. Like I think that's where the anger comes from, because it's like, dude, we do enough. We give you enough reasons to throw the flag. You don't have to like keep making up shit of stuff now. I think that's me,
So yes, we need some work. But look, I explained to y'all the schedule. There's a moment where the schedule will kind of allow the Saints to kind of right the ship. And I think right now is where we're kind of start to see that. And so, let's keep it 100 with each other. Let's talk about it. Now, next week we got Detroit, and I know Detroit won this week. And any given Sunday, it can happen to you.
Yep.
But in my opinion, in my honest opinion, the Saints should win next week. They should follow up with a win against the Chargers, as that game will be a primetime game as well. Then they have the Panthers coming in. They should win that game, okay? You got the Bears. The Bears undefeated right now. That should be a tough game, but okay, we win that game. And so if we win that game, Miss Neek, I got to count on my fingers. So unless y'all don't mind me doing that, okay, what would our record be if we won 1, 2, 3, 4 games in a row? What would that make us?
What you mean? That's we 6-2?
Right. We're 6-2. So that's 6-2 going into the Tampa Bay Bucks game. You will have beaten the Panthers. All right. You will have beaten the Bucks twice if you can pull that off. And you got the 49ers and the Falcons after that. And so they be right back in the mix. The Saints have been here. They've been 0-2 before and ran off a streak of wins. So
we're right back in the mix, but let's say we get to the Chicago game and drop it. Now we're not in the mix like talking about it no more, especially depending on what everybody else is doing. Tom Brady continues on his run. We're going to be scrambling for a spot.
All right, well, here's how I look at it. Today, the Saints lost. Now, you can't have a Derek Carr type situation, but the Raiders open up their new stadium, new city, new state. Okay, cool. Y'all get that one. You lose to Aaron Rodgers. We ain't going crazy over that. All right, you lose to Aaron Rodgers. I don't care who's in Detroit. Matthew Stafford's there. You can't lose that game. Not San Diego, the LA Chargers. They stabbing their quarterbacks in the chest and puncturing lungs over there. You can't lose to them, okay? Teddy Bridgewater, you let that man leave. If he beats you, okay, then we got a problem if Teddy Bridgewater beats you. And then the Bears had to sit down Trubisky to put in Nick Foles, who, he came back and did what he did, but there's a reason why Nick Foles is on his third team in 3 years. He won the Super Bowl in Philly. They let him go, okay? So then you get to Tom Brady. So my thing is, I'm looking at the quarterbacks that the Saints are facing.
He won the Super Bowl in Philly and they let him go, but he won the Super Bowl in Philly. So you have to keep all of those things in mind.
I agree. I don't like to be disrespectful.
He has something to prove at this point.
I want you, if you don't mind, pulling that Jamario's last comment. I'm reading a little bit of it, and I like the initial part of it.
Wait, all I got is I think you read this one though. Breeze done.
Go down. He got another one up there he chimed in with.
Okay. Well,
we got Chuck. Chuck, while you're looking for that one, Chuck says Alonzo was confused in this game. Absolutely, he's running around, just lost. Don't know what the hell he got to do. You know what I'm saying? So
Mario says, let me make sure I'm reading the right one. He says, and until we replace Breeze at quarterback and Sean as our offensive play caller to Pete Carmichael, we're going to keep getting the same results. Dennis Allen's scheme doesn't fit our players.
That's interesting. That last point is interesting. I'll say this. I understand where he's coming from and why he's saying that, because when you look at the penalties these guys are making, you're getting frustrated, like, okay, what the hell is going on? But my question is, I don't want to be disrespectful, because some of these brothers, I actually get an opportunity to be in some similar circles. Now, don't get it twisted. I ain't scared. I ain't scared to say what I feel, but I want to – the game is hard. It's a hard game, and I'll say this. I think Dennis Allen actually has put together a scheme that can make the guys he has the most successful they can be as a collective group, okay? I thought Malcolm Jenkins had a hell of a game tonight, for instance. I thought he played his ass off. And I think he's taken out a lot of verbiage and a lot of things that prior to him coming in, when you look at the systems the Saints ran prior with one of them Ryan brothers that was here, his situation had the guys have to think a lot more. The Saints were, doing a lot more as it relates to trying to confuse the offense, and they were confusing themselves. And so this Saints system or scheme is more so let's line up and hit him in the mouth. And we're going to play physical. We're going to tackle well. We're going to get after the ball, and let's see what happens. And you pay for that. You pay for that when you play against quarterbacks who are patient. You pay for that when you're not playing the game within the rules. All right. And so that causes an issue. Now, Drew Brees. He's a popular topic, and his limitation on the football field shrinks the Saints' opportunities to cause the defense issues when they want to sit on our routes underneath. But the Saints have talented players. Alvin Kamara is really hard to sit on the route underneath. Michael Thomas, you can't just guard him by sitting on the route underneath. The tight end Cook, he did go out. Phil mentioned that. He's a problem trying to guard him one-on-one most times. But the Saints have a guy, Emmanuel Sanders, that can stretch the field. Ted Ginn, he's no longer with the Saints, but that guy can stretch the field, and he had to slow up a lot to try to catch balls that Drew Brees is throwing. Drew Brees can't throw the football 50 yards effectively. He can't. You can't do it. And if he can get it out there, doesn't have the RPMs to be effective in the NFL game. He can't do it, right? And so, y'all, it's hard for me. The Drew Brees thing, I think I was trying to give you guys a story where I had someone tell me, look, and I'm glad I got that comment. He said, I saw Muhammad Ali at the end of his career. And Muhammad Ali was my favorite fighter. And when he fought Spinks in the Dome, it was embarrassing. It was flat out bad. And at that time, I was like, he's got to go. He's got to retire. He's one of the greats, but we gotta hang him up. And I think Drew Brees, you can still see the wit. You can still see him thinking and going through his progressions, but the game is faster than him now. And physically, he doesn't have the arm to challenge some of those defensive backs in the way that he used to. And it's showing. And Chris Collinsworth brought it to some more people's attention tonight. When I'm in the Dome and I'm watching them, I see it there. And I don't know how we deal with that, guys. Do we run the ball more to set up more play action opportunities for him and make the game a little easier? Maybe change the philosophy and have him manage the game. The Saints went 5-0 last year with Teddy Bridgewater doing just that. Do you kind of contain Drew and pull him back some? Because he definitely can't do what we've seen him do for his time here in New Orleans, where he's been able to throw the ball over the field. It just isn't there. Did he have an accurate game today? Yes. Did he throw for 3 touchdowns a day? Yes. But Alvin Kamara was the reason why his stats are respectable today. He killed it. Alvin Kamara hit it out the park today, was neat.
Yeah, he did. And but if we are going to start focusing more on the run, Peyton is going to have to learn what he can do with Murray, because the things that he's trying to do with Murray right now on the field are just not working. So if we don't learn how to effectively use our other weapons on the ground, we're going to run Kamara into it, and then we won't have them again. And then we'll have another injury just like we did last year. And, here we go again.
Great point. I think Latavius Murray, I think he works. I just think Peyton doesn't let him work enough. It doesn't work enough. Like, if the guy has, 6 to 8 more carries in this game, he inches up towards 100 yards rushing, maybe gets in the end zone. And we talked about it, that pivotal moment in tonight's game where you have Taysom Hill in, they run the read option. He pulls the ball. It's the wrong read. The defender makes a really good tackle, and he fumbles. And it doesn't work on our behalf. And so, look, it's not the end of the world. Your New Orleans Saints, our New Orleans Saints, they're 1-2. You have an opportunity to right the ship. It's about winning your division. The Saints are still within striking distance of winning the division. They control their own destiny. They haven't dropped the division game yet. They have Chicago up ahead. They'll need to win that. They have Detroit up ahead. They'll need to win that. And the Falcons, we talk about the Falcons and we tease the Falcons. The Falcons, as much as they are 0-3, they could be 3-0. So just be careful about how we talk about certain teams, because they're coming. We're going to be, not that we should be scared of them, but we're going to have to play those teams. And with the Saints secondary fouling people the way that they foul folks, I wouldn't put it past anybody, beating the Saints this year if the defense doesn't figure out a way to not be penalized as much as they've been penalized.
Yeah, and we clearly don't have any clear direction into getting out of the 100-yard penalty box that we just keep jumping in every week.
I like that.
Baffles me how we rack up that many points, and it's usually over bonehead plays that we really just shouldn't be making. So we'll see what happens. I don't think that there's any other person, and I may be wrong. Maybe you have a difference of opinion on the field that deserves beignets more than AK-41.
Okay, no, I think that's 100% on the. I mean, if I had to go to defense, Malcolm Jenkins played his ass off. I think it was a way to bounce back from last week's game, and so I'm gonna show homie love because I think he's a target by some of our folks that want to target him because of his political and social feelings and thoughts. And so for me, Alvin Kamara, you could say he's also a very knowledgeable and strong brother. If you're following Alvin Kamara on Instagram, on Twitter, both of them brothers, they with it. Both of them with it. So, for me, I got a bag for both of them. I got a bag for both of them. But Kamara, he get more in his bag, just because the game was so special.
He get the extra pot of sugar because the swivel hips was moving. And I mean, yeah, it was a lot of bad tackling on that huge drive that he had, but like you can't tackle that bad up against Kamara because he's gonna make you look even worse. Like one of those broken tackles were ridiculous. He did his thing tonight, so baby, he get the extra powder sugar. I'm talking about the heavy bag of powdered sugar. Where's more sugar than beignet? That's what he is.
We get ready to wrap up, y'all. It's late. I do want to pull in a few more comments. Chuck says Drew Brees is the problem. The Saints cannot afford to lose another game. And then Phil comes back and says, I see other quarterbacks right now having no issues throwing the new targets. These are undrafted rookies, drafted rookies, practice squad, ball boys, McDonald workers, DoorDash drivers, but we can't. So we hitting Drew pretty hard tonight. I'm gonna let y'all do that.
I just feel like he knows he has a legacy to protect. And he has to be certain that the target that he's going towards is the target that's going to make a play. Because there are times where the ball isn't where it really needs to be, and our receivers just know how to turn and get it when they know Drew and they're in that rhythm with him. But he doesn't have that feeling, so he doesn't want to do it because it'll automatically fall on him.
We'll see. Let's they've been here with us before they got here. And I'm not saying we just settle, but we ain't selling. I think the Drew Brees and Sean Payton era has been good to New Orleans. I think that we owe them the respect due to let them go through this thing as they're going to go through it, because next year it will be different. Will there be a time where we can call Jameis Winston's number and pull him in? Maybe. I think that we may get there. But right now, I'm okay. I'm okay with watching what we're watching as of right now. I'll tell y'all this, and I'll have Ms. Nick bring those last two comments as we're getting ready to get out of here shortly. Look, subscribe, like, share, do all that, man. Do all that. Do that. Share the show. We want to grow the show. We want to grow the opportunities for the show. And what we mean by that is we want to bring the show to the public. Once this Corona thing ends, we want to be able to get out amongst y'all and bring the show out to the streets, get the folks on the streets giving y'all opinion about the Saints. Let me ask Ms. Nick this right now. We have a warm-up fifth quarter show that we do. We'll kind of give you a pre-game insight to the game. So what you thinking, Ms. Nick? Should they look for that on Wednesday? Can we do that on Wednesday and make an announcement about a time on Wednesday evening where they can kind of get that show? Is that cool?
Okay, so Wednesday evening, I will be landing in. No, I won't. I'll be here. That's next week. That's the
yeah. So you good?
We could probably do a show live from New Orleans.
I think that'll be dope. And,
yeah, absolutely. Let's do it.
All right. Okay, let's do that. So we'll do that. And we'll get it to you guys Wednesday evening. So look, pay attention to all of our social media platforms. I'm going to let Ms. Nick give y'all hers. I'm at JAY Orleans on Twitter and Instagram. So just look for your boy and go ahead on and show that love. And I'll keep you up to date there, as well as Sports Talk NOLA on Facebook. Love Sports Hip Hop. Ms. Nick, drop your social.
I mean, you guys can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/Neek Conley. That's my name right down there. Just search for your girl. You'll find me. You can also talk to me at the Love Sports and Hip Hop page. If you want to go and find me on Instagram, grab a pen My handle is at 504_2_90210. And if you're smart, you should figure that out, as I live in Los Angeles right now. So that's where you can find me, or just hit us up on the Love Sports and Hip Hop page. I'm in the chat. I'm on the page. I'm wherever you need to find me. I'm in the inbox too, but don't DM me no craziness. I am a Saints fan.
Jamario, does he think go ahead. My bad. I'm stepping in.
Go ahead.
I'm good. Jamario say he think that the Falcons, if they get the right coach, they could be dangerous next year. And that's coming from a diehard Saints fan. And that's why I ain't playing with them people, man. I'm not going to play with them folks because they've been in every game. They've been in every single game in the season for the most part. With the exception of Seattle, I think Seattle did bust them up. But they could at least be 2-1. I want to correct that. They could be 2-1 right now. And so I ain't messing with them folks. Chuck says it's Winston time. Phil agrees with him. And he asks where is our Raiders partner. He ain't got, he may come check on us every now and then, but his Raiders lost today. We understand why he wouldn't be listening right now.
We get it. We understand. I mean, as far as the Falcons goes, if the Falcons could figure out how to stop losing games, they already figured out how to win them. Because all they do is blow leads. If you maintain the lead that you have, you're gonna win the game. So as long as you figure out how to stop losing, then they're gonna win. So yeah, I think that they are always a threat. They're a threat to us anytime we get on the field with them, just because they don't like us.
Yeah, and that rivalry is always intense.
Yeah, so it is what it is. I just don't like them. So my pick, we already made our picks for the season. My pick for next week against the Lions, of course, is the Saints against the Lions.
Be out of here. You there?
I can't see us losing yet another game. I don't see us losing next week at all. I think Drew's pride is too strong for that. So my pick for next week is the New Orleans Saints.
Me too. But you got a pregame show. Say that for a warm up. We got a warm up show where you're gonna have to give your pick. So
we usually give our picks on this show.
Yeah, I know, but you got to tease them a little bit, right? Tease them a little bit. We know you're gonna pick the Saints every week, though. They're gonna go 16-0.
No, they're not. I already told y'all what games I thought we was gonna drop.
Okay, true enough. That's true. You're right. That was somebody else who I ain't gonna say his name.
He ain't showed up since we lost. Don't try to put that on me. I'm saying.
All right, so let's get out of here. You always take us out of here. Let's get on out of here and get to sleep in the bed. We got Monday like everybody else got a Monday. Y'all be blessed. We'll get at y'all the midweek. It's your boy Jolene. That's Miss Neek. I'm gonna let her do her thing and get us out of here. And I'm gonna go sleep off LSU and the Saints losing, man. I gotta go to sleep.
Yo, it's been a tough football week, but we're always here every game. After every game, you guys can catch us here on the fifth quarter. We'll be here to coddle you if you need to be coddled. We'll be here to turn up with you on the games we win, but we will be here. So come back and join us. Like, comment, share, send this out to your friends. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you can get the alert so we don't have to come call y'all every time. I'm your girl, Miss Neek. That's J.R. Lees, and we will see y'all next time on the fifth quarter. Y'all have a good one.
We out.